All right, we're going to be doing 3.1, but it's not going to be very long because a lot of it's about graphing, and there's not a lot to do with graphing online, at least not with Canvas that I've figured out yet. Maybe in the future, but right now we're just going to do like one problem, and then I'll talk about the two different forms that you see for quadratic functions. So the first form, well, the first number on this one, it looks like this. And all quadratic, which that guy is telling you is quadratic, excuse me, this tells you that it's a parabola. It looks like that. Or it looks like this. Now, it all depends on what the number in front of x squared is. We'll talk about this later. So let's just, all this is just me thinking out loud. But the idea here is that the form that you want looks like y equal to a parentheses x minus h parentheses squared plus k. Now all that's a bunch of letters and it doesn't make any sense unless you can break down what each letter means. Now the y and the x stay, but this guy is telling you up or down. So if it's positive, it's up. If it's negative, it's down. These two tell you the vertex. Now the vertex is the point at the top if it's pointed down, or the point at the bottom if it's pointed up. That's the vertex. And so that guy is what we're the most interested with at the present moment. So, but in order to get this form, we have to get y by itself. So this minus 4 is kind of bugging things. It's not working. So let's do the plus 4, get rid of it. And now we have the right form that we need. So is it pointed up or is it pointed down? It's pointed up. This is a positive 1. What is the vertex? That is this number and this number, 1, 4, right? I don't know, some of you might be noticing that this guy changes its sign, but this guy doesn't. And that's the way it works with standard form. So this is standard form. And that's how you would work number 1, number 2, number 3. All three of them, you draw the point and then you figure out if it's pointed up, draw this picture, or you draw this picture if it's pointed down. All right, so let's talk about the general form, which is a little bit less informative. So number 4, you have f of x, which I'm switching to y because I like it better, is x squared plus 6x plus 8. So this isn't telling you what the vertex is like this guy is. See, this number and this number make a vertex. These two numbers don't make a vertex. Instead, what you have to do is you have to use a formula. So for the vertex, you have x equal to negative b over 2a. Now a, b, and c, I'm sorry about this shadow. It's, different lighting. The a, b, and c are the numbers in front and that last number. So a is actually 1 and b is 6. C, I don't care about C when it comes to this formula. So this is the formula you have to have when it's a general form. This is the formula you need when it's in standard form. Okay, so for us, we have negative 6 over 2 times 1, which is just negative 6 over 2, which is negative 3. Okay, now to get the y, we plug it in. Plug into original. And this is still with the vertex too. So all we have to do is say, okay, negative 3 plugs into the original thing by squaring it and then multiplying it by 6 and then adding 8. And let's see, that's 9. This is negative 18. This is positive 8. That's negative 9. Negative 9 plus 8 is negative 1. So we have the x and y are the vertex, and they will form an ordered pair, negative 3, negative 1. Right? So you would draw a point right there on the xy axis if you were to draw this. 1, 2, 3, and then down 1, there's a point. And because a is positive, it's going to be pointed up. It's going to look like this, more or less. And I'm not worried about you graphing by hand. We have computers and calculators that graph this stuff for you. So not as important. So 4, 5, and 6, that's how that works. I'm sorry, just 4 and 5. So 6 and 7 and 8 all ask you to find the minimum or maximum point. Well, the minimum or maximum is, you guessed it, it's the vertex. So basically they're just wanting you to find the vertex. So this business, because it's all in general form. So if you look at y equal to x squared minus 2x minus 5, we're going to start with x equal to negative b over 2a. And so we get negative 2, which is what b is, and then we get 2 times 1, which is what a is, right? There's a 1 here. And then we're going to say minus minus is a plus, 2 times 1 is 2, and that makes 1. All right? Then we plug it in. So we got y equal to 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 5. And that's 1 minus 2 minus 5, and that is equal to negative 1 minus 5, which is negative 6. So these two together make 1 comma negative 6. And that's what they want. They want coordinates of a point. So that, there you go. Is it a minimum or a maximum? Well, if it's pointed up, it's a min. And if it's pointed down, it's a max. Okay? All right, number 7. We have y equal to negative x squared minus 2x minus 8. So if we try to find x equal to the vertex, we're going to say negative 2 again. This time is 2 times negative 1, because that's what's in front of x squared. So that's positive 2 over negative 2, and that is negative 1. Y is equal to, and we have negative 1 times negative 1 squared minus 2 times negative 1 minus 8. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but this is what it's like, you know, trying to do videos when you live with people. Anyway, this is 1. And this is, bring it all down. And then we got negative 1 plus 2 minus 8. Negative 1 plus 2 is 1. 1 minus 8 is negative 7. So we got these two numbers making negative 1 comma negative 7. And now since it's pointed down, this is a max. It's the top of a downward facing parabola. All right, last question. We got y equal to 4x squared minus 12x. Okay, and then we have x equal to negative b over 2a. So here's b and here's a, and c is 0. Sorry, b, a. C is 0, and I don't really care about c, right? Not with this. So I'm going to say negative 12, that's b, over 2 times 4. So 2, there we go. So it's positive 12 over 8, and that reduces to a fraction. Sometimes you have fractions, you know, divide by 4, you get 3 over 2. So, but the fun part is putting it back into the original, right? So we got 4 times 3 halves squared minus 12 times 3 halves. No, plus 0. You don't have to write that. Okay, this is first. So we get 4 times, can't see that, 9 over 4. Remember, if you square a fraction, the top and the bottom get squared. All right, 12 times 3 over 2. And then when I multiply straight across, or you can cross cancel. So like there's a 4 up here, there's a 4 down here, they cancel. And that leaves you with 9. And then here, 2 goes into 12 6 times, and then 6 times 3 is 18. Or you can just multiply 36 over 2 and then reduce. But ultimately, you should get negative 9 as your y value, and these two make 3 halves, comma, negative 9. All right. And that's 3.1.